So walking is great, we all know that of course, but let's see if you can step it up a bit. Something that comes naturally to most of us, putting one foot in front of the other, can be optimized further, both from a physiological perspective as well as psychological. So let's look at option number one, the new trend, the new fad, rucking. Rucking is derived from the military, of course, and it simply means walking at pace, typically, it doesn't have to be, but walking with a loaded rucksack. Now, amusingly, this has also come with kit that is being marketed to you, specific rucking rucksacks that have pockets to add weights to the rucksack. Of course, you don't need to do that. You just simply need to grab hold of a rucksack, load it with a few things, and off you go. Take it easy, of course. Start light, maybe 5-10 kilograms, and then build it up. So that's option number one. You're taking a normal walk, you're adding a little bit more of a physiological stress to the body, and off you go. Option number two, I would say, is something that I call intermittent walking. And that simply means that you go for a walk and every 30 seconds to a minute, you speed up your walk, say for 30 seconds, slow it down, speed it up, slow it down, etc. You could break into a run, so it becomes almost like an interval training exercise. You're simply taking a normal walk and adding bursts of extra activity. Now, I would always suggest, if ever you get the option to do so, get out in nature and walk there. And this then leads on to option number three, turning a walk into what I call a sensory-based walk. So this is when you simply go out, again, preferably in nature, and you tap into your senses. So what that means is simply you begin your walk, and as you do so, you become a little bit more mindful of your surroundings. So what can you see? What can you hear? What can you smell? Now, as I walk past all these canal boats in the wintertime, they've all got their coal burners or wood burners going. So there's always this beautiful smell in the air. And if you go for a walk, slow it down, and you begin to focus on what's around you, utilizing your senses, you turn a normal walk into a sensory or mindful walk. And what that does eventually is slows down your mind. Now, walking in itself will do that typically, but quite often we go for a walk and our mind is still busy with all the things that we need to do, our worries, our thoughts of the future, our thoughts of things that have happened that we can't do anything about. If you choose, therefore, to begin your walk and consciously focus on your senses, then you've got the doorway to slowing down the mind. You've got the key to unlocking the connection between you and your mind. So again, you simply start walking and then you begin to make use of all of your senses. What can I really see around me? And when I'm looking at that tree and I'm beginning to think, I wonder how old that is, for example. Or I wonder if that tree could perceive the world around it, what it's witnessed over the years. You then maybe tap into your auditory sense. What can I hear? The engine of the canal boat there. The sound of the birds. And you begin to sort of tune into every sound. What can I hear in the distance? What can I hear in the foreground? And by doing that, you're pouring all of your focus and attention onto your senses, which then in itself slows down that monkey mind of yours. And finally, let's really optimize that walking one step further. You begin your walk. You slow it down. You become more mindful of the things around you. If you really want to turn that dial up one more to optimize mind and the body, then make it a sensory-based breath walk. And what I mean by that is you consciously slow down your walking. And that in itself, by the way, would be a good exercise. Determine that you are going to walk 50% slower than you would normally walk. You do that in the city, you're going to get lots of people staring at you as if you've just stepped out of the Matrix. So you're walking, you're deliberately slowing down your pace. You're tapping into the sights, the sounds, the noises around you, the smells. And as you do so, you then become mindful of your walking pace, slowing it down. I'm slowing it down now to 50% slower than I normally would. And then you become consciously aware of your breathing. Breathing in through the nose if you can. In the cold, of course, you're going to have a runny nose. Slowing down the walk again, I just noticed that I sped up my walking pace. It's all natural. We're always in this mode of trying to get to our next spot quickly. So therefore we constantly have to remind ourselves, slow it down. So you're slowing down your pace again. You're breathing. And now what you're going to do is imagine that your walking pace is like a metronome. So your walking pace is going to be the rhythm that you breathe to. So I'm now walking at a pace of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll slow it down a little bit more. And now what I'm going to do is breathe in a 4-4 rhythm. So in for 4, out for 4, to the rhythm of my footsteps. And there we are. You've just turned a normal walk into a sensory-based walk, and then you've added to that a breath walk. And believe me, that's all you've got to do. Try to build this into your weekly routine. It's not something you need to do every day, although if you did, it would be great. But being realistic, you may not feel like you've got the time, although you do. You may not feel like you've got the time to do this every day. But if you can build this into your routine regularly, your mind and your body will thank you for it. So there we are, your walking options from me, Coach Dave. I like my new moniker. Bye for now.